Hello there everyone and welcome to RPM. This is Premiership Division. I'm your commentator, I use that term loosely, Mr. Inorganic. We're here at the lovely Belgium track. Absolutely love driving around here. Spa, but I'm not particularly that quick at it. But we'll definitely have drivers out there today that will be able to show you how it's done. We have got formation laps back on, so that actually gives me a chance to get ready before everyone starts racing. We're just on board now with Kieran on his out lap. Kieran, of course, is reserving tonight in the Premiership. Probably didn't have the best of races yesterday in the Championship, so he's going to be hoping to prove what he can do. And he's in his familiar McLaren car. Right, we've got Higgsy in chat. Hello, Mr. Higgsy. I don't know, I haven't got telemetry on, but watching Kieran go round, I can say it's definitely not raining. Definitely no rain. It looks actually quite nice and bright out there. So, nope, no rain at all. Kieran, he was set. He'll be setting the first. Oh, and he gets a bit squirmish there under acceleration from the first corner. That will hurt his time, but being the first person to put a lap time down, he will he'll be looking to go provisional pole. Yep, we're kind of looking a bit low on drivers this race. Holidays, school holidays, yeah, people away, you lucky people on holidays. So we have got a couple of drivers that are reserving, and one of them is Giraffe, the winner of yesterday's Spa Grand Prix in the Championship division. So he might scare a few permanent Premiership drivers. I've got on good authority that he absolutely loves this track, and we saw that yesterday. They're going to the bus stop chicane. Kieran now will go pole. He's the first one that sets a lap, 1:44.6. We've got, and straight away Al's gone 2.6 seconds faster than Kieran in the Mercedes. Mercedes haven't had the best week here, but I'm sure Al and Jetfish will be open to get the team some much needed points. Obviously the team to watch are the Williams. There's Jetfish now goes second fastest, 1:42.4, 400th of a second slower than Al. And there's Stebo. We know Stebo's got a bit of pace. He goes up to third, 142.9. He'll now jump on board with Psychotics in the Alpine. He's on an out lap. We see Stebo actually set that third fastest time on mediums. So I would imagine... Oh, no, Psychotics has gone in. So he must have aborted his lap. We'll get to Lost Glider. And I believe Lost Glider is reserve as well. And Lost Glider will go through and go second fastest with a 142.3. Is anyone going to break the 142 barrier? The yellow flags, so it's just drivers, I believe, getting out of the way. We'll wait for, we're going to jump on board because he's on a flying lap. Mr. Learner Driver himself. Still missing the L plates. We definitely need to have a word with Moneybags, Mr. Luke, to see if he can get some L plates for Learner Driver. Knowing Luke, he could probably get some jewel encrusted L plates for Learner Driver, or aka Colin. And Colin's on mediums, so are they looking to save a set of softs? I believe so. Maybe going softs, medium softs, or soft hards, depending on safety cars. But with only 12 cars on track, I think the likelihood of a safety car is quite slim. We were staying on board with Learner Driver. As you get into bus stop chicane, open up the DRS. And yep, 141.9. Hundredth of a second faster than Al, and that's on mediums. So Colin, I would imagine, won't go back in. He'll probably charge up the batteries and then probably go around on another fast lap. Probably keep them medium tyres on to save the softs. I'm going to go now on board with Higgsy as he goes through the bus stop chicane. Oh, and he must have, yep, he's invalidated and he's gone into the pits. Whether he'll change tyres, I probably wouldn't do it, so probably just go in there to get some fuel. We'll go now with Aston Martin of Simotla. Oh, and I go on board with Simotla and he's lost it. And he's showing after some good showings from the Aston Martin this week. He must have got Mr. Jones's Alfa Romeo and forgot to put in his own settings into the car, because we know that Mr. Jones tends to have it on spin a lot settings. But I'm now on board with yesterday's winner, Giraffe, and he's lightning quick round here. He also drives for Williams in the championship. And what's he gone? And Giraffe has gone faster than Colin. So there we go. We got a championship driver putting in a faster lap than the master himself. That is on softs, and we know Giraffe wasn't wasn't very well yesterday, so I'm hoping he's feeling better today. And he's back to himself, but he's already putting a quick team. What we did see yesterday was the Williams team really helping each other out in qualifying. The tow is incredibly strong around here, and we saw Smith and Giraffe really working the tow and the ERS to great effect. We've just seen Giraffe go around by himself and get himself on pole, jump on board with Psychotics and Alpine, trying to put a time in. We've got Kieran in chat saying there might be rain in the race. Well, we can hope so. Psychotics goes round in 142.6, and he's now charging up his battery. Let's go on board Stevo. Let's see if he's on a fast lap as he's coming down that incredibly long, fast, flat out straight, which then leads into the bus stop chicane. Heavy on the brakes. Just let the car drift round the two corners. And Stevo goes round in a 142.2, so he's made a big improvement and up to 4th on the grids. Let's see who we've got. Let's go on board with Higgsy, yet to set a time. And his lights aren't flashing at the back, so he's on his fast lap. Easy there. Corner with no name. So easy to get track limits there. Go around that corner. Nice bit of curb. And we'll stay here with Higgsy. Again, we saw a few drivers lose it round here. Famous commentary disaster yesterday as I was singing Stubby's praises, and as I was singing his praises, he decided he wanted to drive straight into the wall. So I'm hoping I don't have the same effect on anyone else today. I can't promise anything. Higgsy goes round in a 142.6. Some fast times out there. I go now with Samotla, now that Aston Martin driver. Obviously Aston Martin will be open to and he's invalidated, so Samotla's yet to set a lap time as he got the fuel to go around and do another lap. About 4 minutes left. Oh, and Kieran says, damn, I set a purple sector 2 then, laughs out loud. That's probably on the first one where no one had set any times. Booty, evening lads, evening. And great at 93% at the start. Is that chances of rain? I have no telemetry, so I don't know what the weather is going to be. So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way and sticking my hand out of the commentary booth, seeing if I get any spots of rain on my hands. But seem like that. Yeah, he's gone into the pits. I just didn't have enough fuel. I'm going to jump on board now with Al. We know Al is incredibly quick, and that Mercedes. And when these two Mercedes drivers are on song, they will definitely be scoring good points for them in the Constructors' Championship. And the other teams There is no Alfa Romeos out there, so I'm not actually that interested because there's no Alfa Romeos out there. The best looking car on the track as Al goes round, setting a very quick 141.8, and now he's set the challenge to the two Williams drivers. I'm going to jump on board with Al's teammate Jetfish. He's charging up his battery, so he's going to be going on a fast lap in a bit. There is yellow flags. I think that's one of the Alpines. There's no other cars round him, so he must have had a moment. Jetfish didn't set a time. I got no red things on there, so unless he set that time, and I got there too late probably. Let's go back to last glider. Last glider, charging up his battery. We're going back on board with Al. He hasn't got his lights on, so he's not going around quick. He's he's got a Williams there. He doesn't want to give the Williams a tow, so he's just going to let everyone go past, charge up his battery. Either that or he's run out of fuel. Probably more likely ran out of fuel on his way back to the onto the pits. Now, like I said earlier, we did see the two Williams drivers yesterday really helping each other out and giving each other a boost. Are we going to see that? And at the moment, I can't see learner driver out there. But as Giraffe takes a wide berth there just to get a lot of speed on the start-finish straight. And I'm going to stay on board with Giraffe. See if he can set the get back on pole. Going for the first corner. That's always a good one to watch at the start of Spa. Organised with a few cars diving out on the left. Trying not to get on the inside and get pushed up in the wall. So we're just watching Giraffe. He's just going into the corner with no name. Well, it's very easy to get track limits there. Let's see. It's coming up to end of sector 2. Let's see if he's up or down. Is he getting quicker? Well, I'm watching that clock. It's not validated. It is 10th of a second up. He could get pole if he keeps this going. Flat out round here. Flat out and then hard on the brakes to into the bus stop chicane. Learner driver has gone round in a 141.1. Absolute flying. But Giraffe could not improve on his time. So Learner driver has gone round in a 141. I was actually on board with your teammate there, so I didn't actually catch that flying lap. Stebo, he's invalidated. I'm going to go on with Higgsy. What can Higgsy do? He's coming into the bus stop chicane. Open the DRS. Under acceleration. And he's gone fourth. Absolute brilliant lap. 141.9. Higgsy will be pleased with that one. And we've got Psychotics, who, yeah, was pulled out of his last lap. So there we go. That's our qualifying done. They've some very quick times. Kieran, wow, not last. No, I'll give you that. We've got Lerner driver, aka Colin, in first place. Al second, alongside him on the front grid in the Mercedes, splitting the Williams of Giraffe. We've got Higgs in the Red Bull in fourth, Simotla in fifth in the Aston Martin. Then we've got Jetfish in the Mercedes. He's going to be hoping for a better start to the race. And then the screen goes. So then we've got Stebo, Lost Glader. And look at the rain. Oh wow, we've just had an absolutely fantastic, lovely dry qualifying. Now we've got chucking it down with rain. We've gone from one extreme to the other. This is the first race this week that's actually had rain. We know Belgium does get a lot of rain. Spa certainly likes to ramp up the excitement, and maybe the Premiership Division will be getting all the rain that First Division and Championship Division didn't get. Now luckily we're on formation lap, so we just have to sit and look at the lovely I say weather. It's kind of British weather there. But there we go, on the formation lap, so that gives me time to have a look and set everything up. And obviously look at Al there getting right skirmish there, just going around corner one. These full wets, I'll have no heat in them, and in the rain they're going to be all over the place. But if we're expecting this rain to clear up during the race, we could see people actually going out on a dry setup. Some people got on a wet setup, maybe a little bit slower than other drivers because they've gone with a wet setup. We will only really find out. I'd say I'd look at the tyres, but of course everyone's on wets, and it does look incredibly wet. I know I'm actually quite dry in the comms booth, and Ali's all over the place there, really trying to get some heat into the tyres. And that car is really he's drifting in. Oh, I'm stopping with Al there. He's putting on a bit of a show there, getting some drifting done. That's how to drift an F1 car. Oh, there we go again. Oh yes. He's just doing it now to show off now. He's just, yeah. But there is a big gap then. If you look, Higgsy, and then there's a big gap to Simotla, who must have had a moment because he's slipped down and is behind Kieran's McLaren. So he must have had a moment somewhere on warm up, but it doesn't particularly matter on the formation lap. That is not a good camera angle. Lost Glader has been disqualified and Giraffe's been disqualified, so they're going to have proper cold tyres. We wait for the lights to go. They're on. There's 5 lights. It's lights out and it's pedal to the metal, and away we go. We go straight to the front, and we've got Lerner driver. Well, Colin on the inside as Al really gets... Oh, everyone seems to be behaving themselves. But Al was kind of pushed out a bit, so that cost still struggling for grip, but he's managed to keep in between the two Williams. We've got a yellow flag. Is that a safety car? Because that's between an Aston Martin and Kieran's McLaren. Now, we know Kieran likes to bump into cars around here. He will blame other people, but yeah, he likes to, and whether that's just happened there, we'll wait and see. But the cars won't be screaming away from the incident, not under these complete, not a wet circumstances. So I'm just going to go as Higgsy as, oh look at Jetfish is all, he's back of his car, he's having a bit of a bump there with Simotla and Brendan. Oh, have the Mercedes gone really low wing? They're going to hope that this rain is going to clear up, because their cars don't seem to have much grip. And there's an Aston Martin. Out of Simotla. I think he's kept it going. Yep, he's kept it going. So Simotla now will drop down. Not last, because that's down to Kieran. Giraffe. Jetfish now. Let's get back on board with Higgsy. Higgsy's just managed to, as Colin's gone around in a 2-minute 3. That's how wet it is. You're going to see his Jetfish now is going to try and go up on the inside of Higgsy. He has gone on the inside. Higgsy might be pushed out a bit wide, but they've kept it clean. How much grip has the Merc got? And he's got a bit more than the Red Bull, and it's managed to pull away a bit. There's going to be no DRS. So we've got Stebo. Let's have a look at Brendan, because we got a bit of a chain at the moment. 2 stops. This rain could be going all the way. If the Mercs at a gamble. Lost Glade has gone into pits. Is that a gamble? Is that a Jones gamble? Is he going to go into Inters? I think if you do go into Inters, that's a big call, because it does look incredibly wet out there. I'm just going to go back with Giraffe, because Giraffe is not far behind Al. Now, with no DRS, it does mean that the only way that you're going to get a bit of a tow is if you can get close enough to him, get in the slipstream. Slipstream is incredibly powerful this year, and that's what Giraffe will try and hope to get, but you do get a bit of turbulent air, which does make the car a bit more unpredictable. But this means Colin has run out 1.5 seconds in the lead. Zycotics gets the first warning, and he won't be the last. There will be a few more penalties, I can guarantee you that. I thought Giraffe maybe just to break a little bit, but Colin's just gone around 3 seconds quicker than what he did before. And we saw Jetfish there trying to break the toe from Higgsy behind him. Colin won't mind this, because he'll be looking at Al and watching how that Mercedes has been squirming, and he knows that Al is going to be all defensive with Giraffe right behind him. And we've got another, that's Zycotics. Go to Psychotics. He's kept it going, but he's got damage. Yeah, look, he's got it there on the bus stop chicane. So there's our current leader, Colin. That's Psychotics as DNF'd. Must have picked up wing damage or floor damage. This is our first driver to DNF. There's second place driver Al as I come to him there. Look at the way that Mercedes is squirming at the back there. Really struggling to get the power down. You can see it's so nervous. As Al really gone for a pretty low downforce car because he is fighting that car all the way. It's not happy with that grip. Look at, he's trying to drift it again. But that's not gonna help you much because he's got Giraffe breathing all down the back of him. Last week it was the Colin show, but now he's nearly 6 seconds ahead of these two, and again struggling to get the power down, but he's got Jetfish behind Giraffe trying to put Giraffe under a bit of pressure, but Giraffe trying to have a look there, trying to get the better. And Jetfish tries to go down that inside of Giraffe, but that Williams seems to have a bit better grip than the Mercs. And again, the car of Al looks like it's squirming all over the place. He's really having to drive that car, and Giraffe has gone into the slipstream. He's going to try and use a slipstream to get past him. Quick change. He's got the inside. Oh, and that's made Jetfish go wide. Jetfish has gone wide and he's gone back on track. Didn't affect anyone, but there's Giraffe just gone wide, trying to get past Al. That Mercedes is squirming, and he's got the other Mercedes trying to keep upside, but Mercedes, Jetfish, has gone on the inside of Giraffe and pushed Giraffe down to 4th. Higgsy's going to have a try a bit of that along with Brandon. But Al there is he's definitely the cork in a bottle. And you can just see where he's trying to get the power down. The car is just squirming. The Mercs do seem to have a bit of a problem, but they seem to be pulling a bit away from Giraffe. Jetfish trying to have a look down the inside of his teammate there. He will be in the slipstream and you'll get the tow. You look at getting the tow, he'll open ERS. He's going to go on the outside of the... Oh, it's gone a bit wide, it'll go a bit deep. And he's pushed Al off the track. Well, no love lost there between the two Mercs as Jetfish now goes up into 2nd. And Al has now got... Oh, and Jetfish has gone wide and Al's trying to go back up on the inside. Oh, they've got the two Mercs going down. Oh, I'll tell you what, there'll be so many teams being out there now hoping that they two take each other out. Not that we don't like Mercs, it's just that they are incredibly strong team and the Williams will be open at them too. But what has happened to Giraffe? Giraffe has now kind of dropped back off as his tyre's gone, because he's dropped right back on that battling paddle. I don't know if he's picked up any damage, but Maggot's got past him, Brandon's got past him, Higgsy's having a look at the two Mercs, but Jetfish isn't particularly pulling away from Al. But Higgsy's got the red Scarlet Ferrari in the back of him. I'm hoping Truffy's okay and not feeling ill effects if he's not particularly feeling very well. But oh, he has a bit of a moment there, Giraffe. Well, I can't help but think them tyres have probably gone off already. I kind of know that if you put too much high pressure in the wet tyres, they overheat really quick. So we might see Giraffe actually going in for another set of wets. But all that is playing into Colin's hands, who's now 11.5 seconds ahead of Jetfish. I'm going to go to Jetfish now. We're on board. because he's got Al squirming all over the back. Them two had a few moments, no love lost there in between the two Mercedes, but you can see Jetfish there trying to get the power on and the car getting a bit skirmish. But them two Mercs aren't getting or making any gap way on Higgsy Brendan, but Giraffe has completely dropped down the pack, struggling to keep up as Brandon gets past Higgsy. Just go on board with that, just at the tail end of that. As Brandon gets past him, got the toe, but he's gone a bit wide there and he's opened the door again for Higgsy. Higgsy goes, oh, thank you very much, but Brandon's got the inside. Higgsy will try and look at the outside, but Brandon has got the inside and will get the move done. Maggot there behind him, looking, thinking, I might have a bit of that. As they go into the corner of No Name. Well, you'll be able to catch me breath in a minute. We did say I don't think there'll be that much chance of a safety car. These drivers, and I've got to say, it still looks wet, but it seems to be easing. It looks like, to me, that rain may be easing off a bit. Three safety cars, I expect. I don't know. I don't think there will be. I think with only 11 drivers, I know the conditions are bad, but all behaving themselves. They're all pretty close, apart from Colin now, who's like 12.2 seconds. One of the Mercs going a bit deep into the push shots can, and so does Higgsy. Has a bit of a moment, and now Higgsy will have the Ferrari going, Maggot going past in the Alpine, putting a bit of pressure on him. I'd love to know. And there again, he's out. Just really can't get that power down coming out of that corner. And the two Mercs and the Ferrari are dropping the Red Bull of Higgsy. Are we going to see? Oh, and Stebo is in. Stebo has gone onto the Inters. That looks like a good call, because it doesn't look like. And we've got Kieran. Kieran's gone into the pits, but I think that caused a bit of a flag. But Jetfish, half a second now from Al. I've just got it in there as Brendan goes on the inside and gets past Al. So much traction on that Ferrari. We saw it there. We can see how nervous the Mercedes is. And the grip of the Ferrari has managed to get past him on the inside. Now, Brendan, we know he's got pace. He will want to try and put a bit of pressure on Jetfish. Kieran has now gone on to Inters. I think it's that time. The rain does seem to be easing off the track, and Maggot gets a 3-second penalty. That could hurt Maggot towards the end. That does give Al and Higgsy a bit of a break. And look at the way that Al gets round the corner there. All squirmish, a bit of drifting again. But Brendan, I'm going to go back with Brendan as he's putting Jetfish under a lot of pressure. He breaks a lot earlier. Oh, a lot earlier than what I was expecting. And he's got it bang on, but they've touched. Brandon gets round on the inside. He broke perfectly. He saw Jetfish. And Brandon will go into the lead for a bit, because Colin will now go on to Inters, I would imagine. Everyone now beginning to come out now and saying that rain is easing. Time to get the Inters on. So them runners that on full wets, they're going to be struggling in a minute, because we've got Colin in fourth on the Inters, we've got Al on the Inters, Giraffe on the Inters, Stebo on the Inters, Simotler as well, and Kieran down in last place on the Inters. Kieran did say he wasn't last in the in the qualifying. But he's still going, so under very hard conditions. So I'm not going to give him too much grief. So Brendan is almost a second ahead now of Jetfish, because that Ferrari's got so much more grip and he can get the power down a lot quicker. But with drying conditions, are them Mercedes now, we think they've got low wing. Oh, and a big moment there from Jetfish again, and that allows Colin to have a good look, because Colin now will have the better tyre, as Brendan as well gets a bit squirmish. Is Jetfish, I can't see Jetfish really trying to fight this too hard. Them wets are going to be going off, and Colin does get past Learner Driver. Still need our plates, but we will see Brendan going into the pits, and I would imagine Jetfish as well going into the pits. Colin going for the undercut, and the undercut is quite powerful this year, and Colin has shown that as Maggot stayed out on his wets. That's interesting. I'm surprised Maggot hasn't gone in. But is he going to try and get the overcut? But Stebo now. Stebo sets a fastest lap. And we've got Higgsy just coming out of the pits there. I'm on board with Giraffe. And just in front of Giraffe is Jetfish. And behind him is Stebo, who's just set the fastest lap. That's the closest battle we've got. I mean, Colin is already 6.5 seconds ahead of Maggot, and Maggot deciding to stay out on them wets. I think he probably should have gone in a bit earlier, because the intermittent runners now will be closing up quite quick on Maggot. So you'll probably see Maggot going into the pits probably on this lap, because I can't imagine them wets are in any good condition. But this will play into the Mercedes hands, because we've seen how much they've been struggling to keep the power down and get the power down out of corners. So I imagine that they are on a pretty low downforce. Giraffe there struggling to keep up, as Colin goes round now in the fastest lap. It is still raining, but it has eased, and it's definitely as, yeah, we see Mag going to the pits now. But Al finds himself 13 seconds behind Colin, Learner Driver, so he will I think he'll probably just look now and maybe just consolidate second place, because he's got like 4 seconds over Brandon. Everyone now on the intermediate tyres. Maggot on the slightly fresher ones, hoping to use that fresh rubber to his advantage. Higgsy, I'm on board with Higgsy, because he's all over the back of Stebo. He's having a look. He's had a look there, but yeah, didn't have a much toe. And right behind Higgsy is Smotler. So Higgsy's going to try and want to get past Stebo. This Colin is still 13.5 seconds. Well, he's extending it. 13.5 seconds ahead of Al. But Higgsy is getting a good amount of slipstream, goes a bit wide there. But that rain is definitely easing up. Would you say there's a bit of a dry line developing? But there, oh, Simotler has a look up the inside. Higgsy gone wide, and he's got a penalty. They saw the car just struggling for a bit of grip as Lerner driver goes round in at 154. The times are coming down all the time, which means that track is really beginning to come alive. There's not much spray. So are we going to see Jetfish goes round in a 153 as he's trying to catch up back up on the Ferrari. Then Mercedes now with the lower wing will probably start to find a bit of pace. Oh, and that was Stebo getting a bit wide. He got a bit wide. He allowed the door open for Higgsy to take, and Higgsy said thank you very much and got the move done. So the Aston Martin's 7th and 8th. That's the closest we've got is Stebo behind Higgsy's Red Bull. Higgsy on fresher intermediate tyres. But I think we're going to be looking at probably... I mean, there's no spray. Is there a dry line? Is somebody going to take a Jonesy gamble and go for slicks? It looks a bit too wet for that at the moment, but it does look like there's a bit of a dry line developing, and them Mercedes now are beginning to come alive. I'm stopping on board. Let's have a look from onside Higgsy's there. It's still raining. Is that getting heavier again? Is that just a camera angle? It might just be the camera angle. It looked like it coming down a little bit harder. No, I think it was just a camera angle. I think, yeah, looking at the line, it's still maybe a bit too wet and greasy. Well, I don't think we'll be seeing they're getting past Stebo struggling on them inters. Dropped back a couple of places, and Kieran picks up another 3 second time penalty. It's not been the race that Kieran was hoping for, but he's still going. Lots of experience in not very nice conditions. But Higgsy is in the slipstream of Giraffe. Giraffe at the start was showing so much pace. He was showing so much promise, and he was battling at the top with Al, but seems to have really just dropped off and just seems now to be struggling with pace. Did Giraffe go full wet conditions? Oh, and Al and Higgsy goes proper wide there on the corner with no name. But Higgsy's going to try and keep in the slipstream of Giraffe. As Colin is now 14.2 seconds ahead of Al. Al not really been able to catch up. And he's got Brendan behind him 1.8 seconds. But the closest battle we've got at the moment is Higgsy and Giraffe. And like I said, Giraffe showed so much pace yesterday and won it and started off so well, but has kind of dropped off a bit and found himself now middle of the pack. And he's got Higgsy all over the back of him. Higgsy on a lap newer tyres. As Giraffe goes in there. But Higgsy will want to try and get this move done, because Simotla is going to want a piece of this as well. We're on board with Higgsy. Going up now, he'll get into the slipstream. He'll get the toe. He goes on the outside. Giraffe goes to defend the inside. Giraffe will have the inside of his corner, but Higgsy's got the move done. Got the move done before the corner came. Great manoeuvre there. Great overtake from Higgsy. And Giraffe, yeah, just seemed to be struggling a bit. But Brendan, I'm going to go now to this battle. Brendan has caught up. He was 1.8 seconds behind Al not long ago, but has suddenly caught up quite a lot, quite quick to Al. And Al now is going to have to go defensive. But look at again that Mercedes really squirming. They must have a proper dry setup there, because he does seem to really struggle getting the power down, and that Ferrari has got so much grip, and it's still raining, so it's keeping the track still pretty greasy. Doesn't seem take the risk of going onto slicks yet. We might see Lost Glider. Oh, and look at Brendan, he's now, and Maggot has got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, and Stebo has got past Maggot, so that's obviously caused. But I've got the moment here as Brendan now has got the toe off the Mercedes. Look how much grip, and the way that Brendan's got that move done. Al could try and keep in the slipstream of that Ferrari. Well, I don't think he's going to. Brendan has already pulled out nearly it's like 7/100th of a second, 7/10th of a second out on Al already as they go around the corner of No Name. And already that Ferrari is pulling away from the Mercedes. So Ferrari's hopes of some good points are all riding on Brendan, and he's not disappointing. But as you can see from the race line, that yeah, it's still too wet for slicks. That would certainly throw maybe a few spanner in the works. But that way the Ferrari is just pulling away. He's going to try and chase down learner drivers Williams. I'm on board now with Simotla as Lost Grader gets a 3-second time penalty. Simotla, he's only half a second behind Giraffe. I wonder if Giraffe did go for a complete actual maybe dry setting and has struggled in the wet, although it does seem to slowly be drying. The intermediate tyres will get rid of a lot of. Oh, Maggot's DNF'd. Is that going to... Oh, I think he's done it in the pit lane, so that's not going to cause any safety cars. So Maggot is our second DNF. May have picked up damage. That's why probably when he cut the corner possibly, or his wife walked into the room. Little joke. Anyway, but Kieran is quite a way back, but he'll just keep on putting around. Good experience under difficult circumstances for Kieran in the McLaren. That is the closest battle we've got at the moment, is Smotla trying to catch up on Giraffe. And Giraffe was very, I mean, look, I don't know. The tyres, they do clear a lot of water. We see a Jonesy gamble. Is somebody going to be, I don't know, brave enough, silly enough to maybe try the slicks? I wouldn't have thought so just yet. I mean, we've got about 6 laps left. Colin is still 14.7 seconds ahead of Brandon, who has now pulled out 2.2 seconds on Al. And Jetfish is 1.3 seconds off his teammate. Exit. We'll probably know the speed of the two Mercs. And we'll just want to keep the gap from himself, Giraffe and Simotla. He won't want to be pulled into that, as Simotla there has a look on the outside of Giraffe. As the rain still comes down, it's still too wet, and we've seen no DRS, which obviously, because of these conditions, the FIA won't allow it for safety reasons, which is a bit of a buzzkill, let's say. But on track, this is the closest battle we've got at the moment with Simotla. He'll try and get into the slipstream of Giraffe and get the toe, because it is powerful, and they're coming up to the very long straight now where they can put, well, say straight, it's bendy, it's got bends in there, but you go with it flat out. No need to lift, maybe a bit in the rain. In the dry, you can usually just go at it flat out, and it's hard under braking. The bus stop chicane was, I don't think they touched, but Giraffe had a bit of a moment, and Simotla now is getting that good toe. We'll have a look on the inside. He's gone on the inside. Oh, and then Giraffe has turned on the inside. I know Giraffe thought he was there, didn't know he was there. It was a good dive from Simotla. Giraffe went to turn in and may have touched, and Giraffe come back out of it, and Simotla got the move done, but he's already pulled 1 second ahead from Giraffe. And Giraffe, who was out there in third, has really been struggling. So whether he's picked up damage somewhere and he's just nursing that Williams about. But now we have gaps pretty much everywhere. I'm going to go now to Jetfish, who is slowly catching on Al. So we could see another Merc ding dong. No team orders there whatsoever. No team orders. And it'll be interesting to see if they're going to try and help each other. It would be beneficial if they try and tow each other along, especially without the DRS. Now Jetfish is in. There's 4 laps left. Is this a gamble? Is this a Jonesy gamble? Let's have a look. I'm going to stay on board. It's a Jonesy gamble. It's a Jonesy gamble. He's gone onto the softs. Now let's see what Jetfish can do. Oh, that's now allowed Higgsy to go up into 4th. He'll be happy there. But we see Jetfish now. Has Jetfish made the right call? 4 laps on them softs. Bit of weaving to get a bit of try and get a bit of heat in. But it has stopped raining. On my screen, there is no more rain. It has stopped. So Jetfish might have done the right call and may have got the undercut on a lot of the drivers ahead of him. Just depends now if he can get the fast laps in, as Los Glader's gone in as well, and he's gone on to softs. So, I don't know, I would imagine we might see Kieran go into the pits as well. He's got nothing to lose. maybe go onto the softs. Seeing how Lost Glider and Jetfish have gone on to softs, and it looks like, yep, Kieran has gone in. Don't blame him. He also had Colin behind, and I believe Colin's gone into the pits. Everyone now, as ERS has been enabled, so everyone now is going to react with 4 laps left. It's going to be a bit of a shootout. And Jetfish has already set a sector 2 purple, so them softs are quick, and he's closing up on Giraffe. Well, he's closed up on Giraffe quite quick. I would imagine you will probably see. No, Giraffe has stayed out. Giraffe there has stayed out. Although everyone else is going now on to softs. And it was easy there for Jetfish. You can see how much easy it was there for Jetfish with them tyres. But Jetfish has come out behind Al. So maybe the undercut didn't particularly work too much there, but he has cut time up. And he's now into the toe, and he's got DRS, of course. And he will get past his teammate, and he will give his teammate, who's got them fresh softs on, a bit of a toe. Because obviously Al will try and get a bit of heat into his tyres, as Jetfish now has set a sector 1 purple. So Jetfish made the right call and come onto them softs nice and early before everyone else. Giraffe has stayed out. Simot has gone on to mediums, which might not have had any softs left. Surely softs were the better choice, because once they get up to temperature, they'll be a lot more grippy under these conditions. And Stebo, it hasn't worked for him because he's on 3-lapped old inters. It hasn't worked out for Stebo at all. So going to Al, because Al's tyres now have come up to temperature. And he's going to get now into the slipstream and the toe of Jetfish. And he will get DRS. Both on fresh tyre. Oh, a bit of both of them there. You just see, as you get the power down, the car just wants to step out at the back. And Giraffe has stayed out on them inters. Obviously deciding they can get round, but I think them inters are really going to be hurting. They're 12-lap old and a drying track. I think probably doing better trying to get in and get on them softs, as DRS and ERS of Al gets past Jetfish. No point fighting there. It's so powerful on a long straight like that. All you can do is just try and stay with them and get into the next DRS zone, and they will be pulling each other along. Lost Glider now sets the fastest lap. As his tyres come up, then he shows what he can do. So obviously, some of the cars did go on a dry setup, because these Mercedes now have suddenly woken up and coming into their own now. Are they going to have time to catch up and maybe put Brendan under a bit of pressure? Because way out in front, of a couple of laps left, is Colin, learner driver. He's got a nice cushion of 12 seconds. Giraffe the menace. Giraffe tyres will become slicks soon enough. Yes, I would imagine they're already slicks. As Brendan now sets the fastest lap, and he will try and get the extra point. And knowing that he's got 2 Mercedes behind him, 2 very quick Mercedes now, that have suddenly come to life since the rain has stopped and the sun's come out and the track is dry. But Jetfish now, Jetfish will get the DRS and ERS. And as Giraffe has stayed out, he's not going to make another pit stop. As Higgsy gets past Giraffe and Simotla gets past Giraffe, obviously them Inters are really struggling. Kieran gets another 3-second time penalty. Oh, keep going, son. You're doing grand. But Jetfish didn't manage to... and there's a 3-second time penalty for Al. Now, that's exactly what Jetfish wanted. That gives Brendan a bit of respite with an extra 3 seconds added on to Al. Al will kick himself there. And that means Jetfish will go into third. Bit of pressure off because Higgsy's way down there. But now, there we go. Learner driver, fast lap 1:45 on the final lap. So I'm going to go now to Colin on the final lap. I'll keep an eye on the time for the two Mercedes. We haven't seen much of Colin this week, as Stebo now has got past Giraffe. And we've got a yellow flag, and I believe that is Giraffe. And he's beached it. Giraffe has beached it on the last lap. Oh, he's beached on the last lap. Lost Glider gets past. And Giraffe has been disqualified. He got beached. He beached it on the last lap. Oh, it started off so well. Then it just kind of went downhill. I hope Giraffe is okay and he's feeling better. He was making some right funny noises yesterday. But I'm still there. I mean, I'm going to try and flick back as soon as I can onto the Mercedes because I'm going to have to do it because Al is going to try and get past. Jetfish has a look on the inside. The neck and neck. Colin's just coming up now to a little bus stop chicane. But we've got the two Mercedes trying to get past. Sorry, Colin, it was your time last week. It's the Mercs this week. Oh! Is he going to be like dive? Remember, Jetfish, Al has got the penalty. So he can't, there's no point in fighting Jetfish because he won't have the time penalty. And we didn't see much of and that Simotla there, just gone on the inside under braking of Higgsy. He left the braking quite late there, and I got that. And Simotla gets 5th ahead of Higgsy in 6th. Higgsy was trying to keep it nice and clean, and Stebo was late on the brakes and managed to get past him. And Stebo, who didn't go into the pits, stayed on them 6-lap-old Inters. We'll go 7th. Lost Glider will finish 8th. And what is that, a glitch then? Did I just see that Colin got disqualified? What happened there? Brendan, driver of the day. I would have retired, but I was hoping for a safety car or race. Yeah, I did say that I didn't think there was going to be a safety car. But why is Colin now not first? Why is the Williams? Because he had won, but it showed disqualification, and it's showing Brendan's one with both the Mercedes 2nd and 3rd. Does anyone in chat know what's happened? I didn't see anything come up with. And we've got down there that Colin down to 8th? What? I'm totally lost now. Did Colin make a mistake? He was... What? I don't know, no one's... on the screen, it's got Brendan first, Jetfish second, Al third, Simotla fourth, Higgsy fifth, Stebo sixth, Los Gliders seventh, Learner Driver 8th, Kieran 9th, Maggot 10th, well, Maggot and Psychotics and Giraffe didn't finish the race. And I'm totally lost, and no one's put anything in chat yet, so no one's actually... If anyone can kind of tell me what happened before we go off, because that... I'm lost for words there. Is that a glitch? I would imagine that's very much a glitch. Because Colin was way out in the lead and it said he'd finished, but then it come up with disqualification for some reason. I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure at some point we will find out. But yeah, I can only go on what we saw at the end. I'm lost for words. Got to be Colin crossed the line safely unless he left the session early. If you leave the session early, if he's won the race, I don't think you get disqualification, do you? I think the AI takes over your car, because we've seen that a couple of times. I'm unsure. I'm sure we'll find out. But anyway, as far as I'm aware, Learner Driver won the race. So whether he did leave the room a bit earlier after crossing the line, and the game has somewhat decided to do that, I don't know. But never seen this glitch before. Clearly EA just don't want Williams doing well. Well, they did well yesterday. They got first and second. I think EA are really trying to cause trouble with Learner Driver. They fix one bug and they add a few more bugs, but I'm sure we will find out. But anyway, that was the championship. I hope at the premiership. I've gone mad. But yeah, that was the premiership. This is RPM. I'm in organic. If you like what you see, leave a like, tell your friends, subscribe and all that, and tell your mums, tell your dads, tell your wives. And next week we're in the Netherlands. I will be racing on Tuesday in First Division. It will be my fellow royalty and comms Kieran that will be on comms, possibly with Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker. I'm going to get the sack now. And yeah, for a very interesting end to the race. And I will leave you with yeah. Tuesday, same time, same channel, First Division, Kieran on comms, myself racing along with Mr. Jones. Hopefully we'll see you then. and I hope you enjoyed this. If not, and you are watching this back, you can just press the mute button. And I will see you all next week. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.